Alright, so working with Mesh Tool, what you want to make sure that you have open is the Navigator window. So you would want to go into Window and Navigator. That's going to allow you to see what you're working on, because it's the format that we work in, which is in outlines, isn't going to allow you to see it here. You're going to want to put the object, you're going to place it in a separate layer, and I'm just going to double click this and make sure that you have the option template clicked on, and then make sure that you click this one and select the percentage and change it to 100. I'm going to go ahead and actually name this first, just so we know what it is, and then we're going to hit OK, and then you can go ahead and lock it. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go into your view mode and you want to change this to outline. Once you do that, you're going to want to grab your pen tool, and with your pen tool you're going to want to go ahead and trace all around this edge and make it the cleanest as possible as you can. I've already done it and I have it here. I'm just going to go ahead and place it on top of it. Make sure it's a closed path. Once you have this in place, you're going to want to go and grab your mesh tool. And with the mesh tool, what you want to do is, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this here. You'll notice that you get this preview over here. You're going to want to grab your mesh tool, and with your mesh tool, you're going to want to click directly like in the center here. And you're going to want to do another one. You're just going to click. There we go. And then what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to create lines where I see that there's different shadows. Like this gets darker in here, and then it gets even darker in here, to show the form of this. Okay, so I want to draw them wherever I see lines that are potentially going to create shadows and highlights. So I'm going to click here, and then I see this one here, so I'm going to click, see if I can get it this way here. There we go. And then I want to also do vertical ones, so then I start clicking at the top here, and I'm going to try to look for locations where like in particular, like where this ridge is. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. Let's see, there we go. Then I want to click here. I'm just trying to get them close to these ridge areas so that I can shape this. Okay, oops. Now the key to working with these is not to get too crazy and do too many of these mesh outlines. What you want to do is do some, and then if you need more as you start coloring in, then you can go ahead and create more. I'm just going to do a couple more this way here, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my white arrow. And once you have all these in place, it's time to start assigning color. And you can do it one of two ways. You can singly select the points using your direct select tool. You can select the point and assign a color to it. I'm going to just show you how you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And then I'm going to go to my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to use the actual color from the image. And I'm just going to click right around it in here. And what you'll notice is on the right hand side over here in my navigator, it starts showing me a preview of what that color is looking like. Okay. Now I'm going to go and grab my direct select tool, and I'm going to grab this one here, and I'm going to grab this one here, and I'm going to grab this one here, and this one here, because it's all in this white area. And I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to grab this one as well. I'm holding down shift. That allows me to multiple select. You know that they're selected because they're filled in with solid. I'm going to zoom into that so you can see it better. Filled in with solid, whereas these are white and open. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my eyedropper tool, and I'm just going to select a color of the highlight. Okay. Now you notice it's kind of large in here. I'm not too worried about it because I can always go in here and start modifying these colors. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some more points, switching to my arrow tool. You scroll over it, you'll see that there's this little A next to the direct select tool. Okay, so that A there means that you can select the A to toggle between that, and to toggle between the eyedropper and that tool, you would hit I for the eyedropper and then A for the direct select tool, and that'll allow me to use those as shortcuts so I don't have to keep coming back to my toolbar. But you can keep coming back to your toolbar. You'll see that I end up using both. Okay, I'm going to go back to the arrow tool, and I'm going to select this point, and I'm going to go to my eyedropper, and I'm going to color in that, and then I'm going to go into again to my arrow tool, and I'm going to grab this point and this point, holding down shift, and then I'm going to grab color in there, and I'm going to assign that. And then I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to grab some more of these. Now you can do it with the shift effect, or if you go into this lasso tool, this allows you to also just circle the areas that you want to select. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these. Okay, and I've selected these here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my eyedropper tool, and now I'm just going to get the surrounding color next to it. Okay, and what I'll notice is that from here to here there's a big jump. And so I start noticing that when I look here, the color is, it's not very, it doesn't gradate very nicely. So what I want to maybe go in here and do is add another mesh tool line here. Try to get it there. So that I can add an assigned color in here that's a little bit lighter. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to grab my lasso tool, and to that new one that I just created, I'm going to select those points. Whoops, I kind of went out there. All right, and we'll notice that all of these are selected here, and then I'm going to pick the color that's next to them here. Okay, and now as you get closer to these shadows, you'll notice that sometimes it's not doing exactly what you want it to do, so you may need to add even yet another one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add another one here, and these are the things that you just have to play by ear. And I'm going to go and grab my lasso tool again. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select these points here, which I think are really close to that area. And I'm going to assign, I'm going to grab that eyedropper and I'm going to assign kind of this more medium color in here. I'm just trying to combine these here. All right. And then what you can do is I'm going to grab some more of these with the lasso tool. I'm going to go into these here. I think I might have already assigned these, but just in case, I'm going to go in this, and then I'm going to go to the next one. And I'm probably going to need more in here, but I'm going to start grabbing some of these and keep assigning color. Okay. And what you'll notice is that it starts giving you a preview and you start seeing kind of that gradation. And as you get towards the bottom here, because there is a lot of extra shadows in here, you're going to want to add more mesh points. I'm just going to go ahead and add some here. If I can just go ahead and click here, and this will allow them to go sideways as I'm adding. I'm just going to add some more. And the more you add in these areas, the more control you have over the colors that you get here. So I'm going to go ahead and, for this one, since it's the darkest colors, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add these shadows. I'm holding down shift and I'm selecting these points. And I'm just going to assign, maybe not that one because that one's not as dark. I'm going to assign that darker color. I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool and I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to grab the next set, holding down shift. And I'm not using the lasso tool because it's starting to get kind of confusing in here. I'm going to just zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to leave those alone, and I'm going to go into the eyedropper tool. Now I'm going to pick one of the lighter colors in here. Whoops, that's too dark. The goal is to pick colors here that match, okay, and that gradate. So I'm just going to keep until I find the color that's light enough for what I'm going for. All right, we'll leave that one there. I'm going to go ahead and grab the next set, which is here. And I'm going to, and then I'm going to go to the next set and I'm going to grab more. Oops, got to grab some points here. That's a little too light. All right, I think I like that. Okay. Okay, and if we start looking at the preview here, you start seeing some of that shadow and highlight that you're looking for so that it starts mimicking this. So don't forget about your areas, like in this corner here. These don't have any color assigned to them. We're just going to go in and start assigning. I had the whole thing selected. Make sure when you do that, you select only the point with the point tool, with the direct select tool. And then I'm going to click here and start assigning some of these. And I'm just going to toggle between the arrows, and so I can start filling some of these in. And then I'm grabbing my eyedropper. Okay, and here we go. I'm just going to grab a couple of these. I'm going to grab this one and this one, and even this one and this one and this one and this one, and here and here and here and here, just to define this edge. I'm holding all of those with the shift key and the direct select. I'm selecting those and then I'm grabbing color and adding to it. Okay, And now we'll notice that there's some points that are right next to these that haven't been colored in, and you can just keep grabbing, and the key is to grab colors that are next to them. Okay. All right, I'm going down in this area, and we're trying to collect them, and go a little bit lighter so there's more of a gradation. And then the last thing that you want to do is, as you fill those in with color, you can always shape these. So if it's not giving you exactly what you're looking for here, you know, you can always adjust these, and you'll notice that these start changing here, and you can start shaping this around that shadow that you're trying to get. And right now I'm using my direct select tool to kind of change these and mold them around this kind of area here that we have. Okay, so that you can control the color around those areas, and you'll start seeing that it starts adjusting the color in within here. Okay, and you can create even more, since there's such a difference between here to here. You might want to change those in a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click that one and do that. Kind of try to make it less severe. You choose a color that's a little less intense so that they blend in better as you get closer. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here. And as you go along, you just keep doing this, and you should eventually end up with something that starts looking three-dimensional and very much like an apple. Now, you don't have to use a base image to pick your colors from like I'm doing right now. I'm just doing this because it helps you see an image and make the comparison between what it should look like and what it's looking like. But you can actually select the points and go into your color picker and pick the colors that you want to designate. So you don't really need a base image. This was just so that you can see the comparison, and because it kind of facilitates the process of selecting colors a little bit better. Okay? Now when you're done, or if you want to preview it large, I'm going to double click get out of here. I'm going to just zoom into the part that I want. You can go into your view and you can hold on preview, and that takes it back to normal. Now that's not perfect, that's not there yet. I still have a lot of edges to refine, and I could still go in here and change this considerably, but you start getting the idea of how this starts forming into an apple. And that's the basis of your mesh tool. If you have any questions, iled@hawaii.edu or 808-343-9565.